My dad taught me long ago, when you go to do a lesson, you start the week you finished your last lesson. So if you're going to teach, like I teach Sunday school and church, that after I give my lesson, I start preparing. He goes, I start preparing that Sunday afternoon for my next lesson. And that's something I've always done. And so I don't know if these videos are for more me or for you or who they're for, but you can always tell when I'm preparing a lesson because it's on my brain. And so I couldn't sleep one night. I couldn't sleep the entire night. And when I don't sleep, well, actually all the time I listen to conference, general conference, and my headphones. I just put it on. It may be because the person next to me snores, and that's kind of annoying, but that's how I tune it out. And also it just keeps my mind from running and racing. Anyways, I noticed, because I got to listen to what is that, 8 hours of general conference about the other night. And you tend to hear themes. You tend to hear common themes. And there was a common theme in this last one. And I heard it mentioned 4 times that I realized it was mentioned. It was Doctrine and Covenants 123:17. And that verse says, "Therefore, dearly beloved brethren, let us cheerfully do all things that lie in our power. And then maybe we stand still with the utmost assurance to see the salvation of God and for his arm to be revealed." And I heard that one. I heard it, like I said, I heard it 4 times. And I don't know if it was just me needing to hear that. And I love it. So do everything in your power. Do everything you can. Don't just sit back and pray that something will happen. If your child's sick, you don't just sit there and pray that they'll get better. You do everything in your power. You get them to the doctors. You get the things you need to do. You do everything in your power. But then in the end, God's arm is revealed. You can typically see God's hand in how it came about. And if you can't, pray to see it. This week, one of the lessons was not my will, but thy will be done. And I'm trying to explain this to my children. And I'm trying to explain to them what is your will, what is something you want, as opposed to something that God wants for you. Because time and time again, I will be the prime example of someone who wanted to take my life left, and the Lord's like, no, take your life this way, down this path, and you will learn so much more. Your testimony will grow. Your trust in Christ will grow. My trust in God will grow. And it wasn't that maybe if I had gone the way I wanted to go, I'm not saying that my life would have been horrible. I'm not saying that I know I wouldn't be where I am today, but I'm not saying my life would be horrible. But in doing what God wants, in doing what the Lord wants, I'm building a trust in him. I'm building a foundation. I'm building a relationship with God that helps me when the waters aren't smooth, when the sun isn't out, when the days aren't shining. I've built this pattern of trust over my 44 years of life. I've built this pattern of trust that I know. And it's still hard. It's still hard. But I know. And some people can't say that. Some people can't say, I know. So if you can't, go for my example. And like I've said in the past, you have those people who say, well, where was God? He didn't answer my prayers this way, or he didn't answer it that way. And again, it's not that everything will turn out roses and that you will have your happy ending and walk off in the sunset and everybody's healed and everybody gets, it's not a romantic comedy. But have you become a better person? And I hope I have. I hope I've become a champion for Christ. I hope I stand as a witness that he is there, that he wants to help. It's just, you've got to build a relationship. You've got to build. If my kids trust me, they trust me with so much, and it's because I've built that trust. If I say I'm going to do something, I will try my hardest to do it, and they know that. But that didn't come overnight, and their friends don't know that when they're like, oh, well, if she says she'll do it, she'll do it, because my kids know that. And then it goes both ways, not always with good things, but with bad things. If she says she'll do it, she'll do it. So, just the only thing we can give the Lord is our will. I'm a prime example of that. I don't know why why I started at such a young age turning my will over to the Lord. But I've seen the fruits of it. So, if anything, just learn from me. Learn that Christ can make you better, a better person. In not the world's eyes, but in His eyes. So think about that this week. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thanks.